Alright guys, welcome back to another tutorial. So I wanted to show you how you can set up a dedicated server for the game HumanitZ. Now, we're going to get straight into it. Now, first things first, if you don't already have SteamCMD installed, you want to go ahead and make sure you download it and install it. And I'll show you what to do. If you do already have it installed, say you're running other games that require SteamCMD, then don't worry, you'll already have that on your system, and I'll show you what to do in a few minutes after this initial part. But for you guys or anyone that does need to download this, I'll show you what to do. So scroll down. The link to this website will be in the description, by the way. Now, we're going to be using the Windows version. It does support Linux. I don't have a Linux system, so I'm not sure entirely what to do with Linux, so I'm not going to talk you through that. We're just going to talk you through the Windows. Down here on the number one setting under Windows, there's a link, a zip file. You want to double click on that and you want to download it. Now, I would suggest, you don't have to, you can download it to wherever you want to. I like to download things to my desktop. Anyone that watches my tutorials will know, me personally, I find it easier to deal with things when they're on my desktop. Once I've dealt with them, I can always delete them. So go ahead, for the purpose of the video, so you can follow along, just download it to your desktop if you can. When I see people download files normally, it always downloads to a download folder. Now, by default, most browsers do this. I've actually changed it. You can actually go into the browser settings and choose where you want stuff to download. I always get it to pop up. Actually, I don't think I've got it on this one. On my desktop, on my web browser, what I use on my own computer, I actually get it where it pops up and asks me where I want to save it. But also at the same time, I do have it set to my desktop, but sometimes I do want things downloaded in a different file, so that's why I like it to ask me, and I can just choose if I want it to be. If not, I usually just click OK, that's fine. On here, I think when I download it, if we click download, oh no, it actually does. It actually pops up and it does ask me where I want to download it to. And you know, this PC desktop, and I would just click save and download it. So I like this. Even if I do want to change it somewhere else, I can navigate to wherever I want it. I find this quite handy. I will try and go in. I might make another video on this on a couple of browsers where you can go in and change this if you don't know how to. But I find it quite easier rather than it just going straight into your downloads all the time. So anyway, put it to your desktop, just for simplicity purposes. Now, we've already got it here. We've got the SteamCMD .zip file. Now, you want to open this, or, you know, extract this, unzip this file, and we're going to get, when you do, you get the SteamCMD.exe. So whatever program, whatever zip program you've got that can open this or extract it, you do that, and make sure you get the SteamCMD.exe out of it. Once you've done that, you want to basically go to, it doesn't really matter where you put this. For me, on my dedicated desktop, I've only got one drive, which is a C drive. So I have to work with this at the moment. So what you want to do is you want to create a folder and call it Steam CMD, just like we got there, as you can see. Let's go into that, and we're going to open that up. Now, by default, unless you've already got it installed, of course, this will be completely empty. For anyone that does use SteamCMD and used SteamCMD to install games for, you're going to know all this anyway. But this will be completely empty by default. You want to, I don't know why I even maximize that, the SteamCMD.exe that we unzipped or extracted from the zip file, you're going to want to put this, so put this exe into this SteamCMD folder. Sorry, trying to say SteamCMD together is quite tricky. So put it in this folder, and then you'll get this SteamCMD.exe. Once it's in there, you basically just want to double click on it and run it. Now, I've seen a few videos in the past where they recommend you do this as administration mode. So you right click on it, run as administrator. I usually just double click on it and run it as normal mode. For me, I've never had any issues. Some games and some things do say you should run it as administration mode, but for the purpose of this video, just double click on it and running it in a normal mode will be just fine. And then you'll get a pop-up window. You know what, we can actually do this. Let's just double click on it. You'll get this pop-up window, but on your first installation, it's going to update everything. It's going to install, and it's going to download all the SteamCMD files that it needs. So just close out of that, and all that will be all these files that you see in here and folders. It's going to download all that. Could take 5, 10, 15. You know, I don't want to give a time frame. For me, it took about 10 minutes, but I think it can depend on your system specs, you know, your internet, that kind of thing. So for me here, it took about 10 minutes to do. Right, once it's done, you'll know once it's done, it'll finish downloading everything, and it'll probably come up like this at the end, which says Steam, and there's like nothing else at the bottom. Oh, hang on 2 secs. Right, there we go. Sorry, I just had to mute my friend in Discord. He's been quiet for ages. I didn't think he was going to chat. He's now actually left anyway. Right. Anyway, so yeah, once it's done that, you're good to go. Now, what we're going to need to do now, if you've got different drives, I would suggest putting this onto your best drive you got. So if you've got an M.2, put it on there. If you've only got an SSD, put it on there. If you've got just a normal HDD, is it HDD or HHD? I think it's HDD, isn't it? You know, the old basic drives, then you're gonna have to put it on there, but they're not really ideal for running games off or servers off. They're slow and they don't read files that quickly. So I would suggest this next part put onto your best drive you can, but the SteamCMD, you can just put it anywhere. Right, now you're going to want to create a folder, so right click, again, wherever you want it on your drive. I'm just going to put it straight onto my C drive because that's the only drive I got. And I'm going to create a new folder. So right click, new folder, and call it HumanitZ. Now I'm not going to do it here. I'm going to do it in a different location, but you can. Doesn't really matter what location you put it in, as long as when we install the files with SteamCMD that we link it to the correct file path. For me, I've actually got a folder called servers, and this is where I put all my servers. So I'm going to do it here. So if you want to be kind of a little bit organized like me and if you've got multiple servers or intend to have multiple servers, it might be a good idea to have a folder called servers, or it doesn't really have to be called servers, it can be called whatever. And then inside there, you'll have all your different other folders for all your different servers that you have. So for me, I'm going to do it in here. Now, I've already tried recording this once. That's why I got a folder here called Test HumanitZ. The HumanitZ normal one is my normal server. This one's one I did earlier, but it turned out shit, so I'm going to re-record it. So for me, I am just going to delete that, and I'm going to create a new folder when it lets me. Okay, the computer just froze. Just give me a sec, just so I just need to wait for this computer just to unfreeze. Okay, we're back. I just had to close the remote connection and reopen it. Right, I'm just going to delete these SteamCMD things now because we don't actually need them. Right. So, as I say, now I'm going to put it in my service folder. So I'm going to right click, new folder, and I'll just call this Test HumanitZ. Right. This one I will delete at the end. This is just to show you guys. Once we've got there, we're going to want to basically open that up. Now we need to copy this file path. So I'm going to, on this drop down arrow, I'm going to click on that. It's going to highlight the file path. I'm just going to press Control and C, which will copy that. And then we're going to go back to the SteamCMD folder. And we're going to double click on the SteamCMD. And now we're going to try and start to download and install the server files for it. So first things first, is you want to type force underscore install dir space, and then press Control and V to paste in that file path that we just copied. I'm going to press enter. So now we've told it where we want to install the HumanitZ server files to. Then we actually need to log in. I believe you can log in with your Steam account if you want to. I'm just going to log in anonymous. So just do the same. Log in anonymous, enter. Right, that'll do its thing. And then when it comes back up with Steam, we're going to do app space update. It doesn't need the underscore space. And then we actually need to get the server files ID. Now I've already got it on my other monitor, so I'm just going to quickly write that in, and it is 272.833.0. If I remember, I'll put this into the description as well, but you can literally just watch the video and see what numbers I put in. And then we're going to push enter. Oh, hang on, app not found. I think I know why. I think I need the underscore. Let me do this again. App. We don't need to do the force install or log in because we've already logged in. App underscore update space and then 2728330. Enter. There we go. Oh, hang on. Why does it say it's already up to date? Have I chose the correct? I chose the correct. I might have chose the wrong file path. No. Oh, it could be. Hang on. It might not like spaces. Give me a second. Go back into servers. Edit. Rename. It might not like spaces, so I'm just going to close it up. You can put an underscore if you want. Let's do that. Let's do that. Right, hang on a minute. So let's try this again. We need to tell it force install. Sorry about this. I'm not really being very professional. Please use before login. Oh, hang on. Close out. If you made a mistake like I have, just close out. Reopen SteamCMD. Right, and then we're going to do this again. Right, then log in. Anonymous. Right, now hopefully this should work. So maybe we do need the underscore on this one. And what do hang on, what the say number was? 2728330. Right, there we go. Now it's going to run and download everything it needs to. Again, like when you first install SteamCMD, this could take 5, 10, 15 minutes. This could take a little bit of time, so let it do. I think for me, it shouldn't take that long. There we go, perfect. Just have to do that. If yours does take a little bit longer than that, just bear with it, let it do. It shouldn't take too long. Right, and then before we exit out of that, we're going to just make sure it did install the file. So servers, test HumanitZ. There we go. It's downloaded all the game folders and all the files we need. So we'll close out of the SteamCMD. Right. Now, once we're in here, we are going to, first things first, we're going to open up the README file. Right, now this is quite important. This is going to tell us what we need to do. So, now, one thing to mention, right, the default ports for this game is 7777 and the query port is 27015. And if you're doing this off your own computer, make sure you open these ports. I'm not going to go into that because I'm no expert at port forwarding. So you just need to go into your router settings, open the ports, and probably into your own Windows firewall settings too, and open them up. Now, 27015 for me and someone else said this query port doesn't work. So when I first set up my server with this, I couldn't find it in the list. So you may want to change this. If you got other servers running query ports, make sure you don't choose same as there. Use a different one. So for me, I had to change this to 27014. So I basically, when I set it up, I had it like that, 27014. Now, my main server is running that. So because I'm setting up a second one, I'm just going to go to 27013. I'm going to go down 2. Now, we're not going to change it from there. Sorry, let me undo all that because this is the README. So let me show you where this needs to go. Now, if we open up the TSS game and we've got the ref underscore game server settings.ini, what we're going to do is, first things first, we're going to rename this. So basically, it's going to tell us here in a minute. We're just going to skip a step. Actually, let's not skip a step. I was going to go ahead 2 steps and come back to the first step, but let's not do that. Let's actually do what it tells us in the README. So first things first, right click on TSG game server.exe and create a shortcut. So that is back in the folder we downloaded the files, TSS game server.exe. Right click, create shortcut. Then once we create that shortcut, we'll just click on it, right click on it, go to properties, and that's telling us here. And in the target field, we need to set launch parameters. And the launch parameters are these, which is on line 4. I'm going to copy that. And then at the end here in the target field, I'm just going to put space at the end. Control and V. Now, when we're here, a couple of things that we're going to want to change. So we're going to want to change the Steam server name. So where it says my dedicated server, I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to put one shots test server. Like so. Now I'm going to need to remember that name. I'll need to come back to that in a second. Now, where I was just on about just before, oh, sorry, I've gone way too far. We're going to need to change the query port. We don't need to change the normal port, the 47s. We just need to change the query port. So we're going to go down, because my main server is using 27014, we're going to go 27013. Now, for you, you can just go to 27014. I also believe 27016 will work, 27017. The reason I haven't gone up to 27016 or 27017, I believe I've actually got DayZ running on them query ports. So I don't want to, I know it's a completely different game, but I don't want to risk anything matching different ports. Right. Then once we change the query port, we can click apply, click OK. That is now done. So we've done that. We've done step 3 or line 3 there. We've done line 4. Now it's got some examples here of stuff here. So let me actually go to the config, what we can change and what some of these settings do. So to do that, we go to TSS game, and then we're going to go to the ref game server settings.ini. So this is going to be a config file. But first, and it does tell us, where does it say it? 2 seconds. There. So it actually says here on line 15, rename the ref underscore game server settings ini to game server settings ini. So we just basically need to remove the ref underscore. So on there, right click, rename, and get rid of the ref underscore, and then push enter. Just like so. Right. Now I'm going to double click on that and we're going to open it up. Now what we need to do is the server name. We need to put in what we set before in that launch perimeter box. So this was one shots. Oh, hang on, when I can spell. Test server. Right, server name. This is the save of the file. So we can keep it at that, or we can rename it. I'm just going to keep it that, not make a difference. Admin pass. So this is going to be a password, so you can log in and out of that as admin. So for the example of the video, and 2 things. 1, what I'm going to put in now is not what I use on my main server, and 2, this video or this server will be offline, doesn't exist by the time this video goes up on YouTube. So we're just going to put admin. No, we'll put admin test. Yeah, we'll just do admin test. So that's going to be the password to log in as admin. Max players. I believe the max players is 24. I don't believe you can go more than that. So you can mess around with that. Just don't go no more than 24. I think it does tell us somewhere in the README. But yeah, right. And then all these different settings. So save interval seconds. All these etc. are all explained in this README down here from line 20, down to line 64. It tells us what each of them do, so you can mess around and change what you want. Now, one thing I want to say is save interval seconds. Be careful with this. If you log in on your server, say you got it to, I don't know, say you got it to autosave 10 minutes, so 600 seconds. You log in, and I don't know, within 5 minutes, you just want to log off. You got to go, or you want to. There's a change on the server you want to make with some of the settings, right? And you log off, and you close your server down. Next time you make that change and reopen your server, you're going to start back from 0 again. You're going to have to pick where you spawn. I think that you pick where you spawn anyway, or you pick your character, but you're going to have to pick your character and where you kind of spawn. Any loot that you might have got, that'll all go. So if you log off before the save, that's what's going to happen. So if you have got your server set to say 10 minutes automatic save, this is default 5 minutes, 300 seconds. You do want to make sure you use the save command, which does tell you in the README here. It's on the console commands, and it's /save game. So I would get in the habit of using this every time you log off, just in case the game hasn't automatically saved. Automatically save it, so you or any other players, like any normal players that doesn't have admin access, is not going to lose their progression. You save it where you got to. Obviously, if you log off before any other players do, it's going to be a bit difficult. They're just going to have to make sure the game saves. So for me, I would probably just keep it on 5 minutes restart or automatically save, or yeah, automatically save. Don't add it too long. This case, with 5 minutes, they're not going to lose too much progression in 5 minutes, are they? If they've been playing Lude a little bit, you could even lower it. You could even lower it to 60 seconds or whatever. I don't know how much effect it's going to have on the server if it's constantly saving, every minute or two. But yeah, you can mess around with that to your liking. So just be aware that I would probably get in the habit as an admin, if you're playing, before you log off, you do use the save command, which again is there on line 86. Right. That said, that's basically that covered. So, I mean, I know I haven't gone over all these, but like I said, I've explained to you in the README. It does say what each of these settings do. Right. Once you've done that, we're going to want to save it. I just need to remember my password, so when I log into the game, I can actually show you some stuff. Right, and you can also create a password for the server if you don't want random people joining. Also, there is a setting where I'll show you in a moment, where you can actually like whitelist players, so you can sort of with Steam's IDs. Sorry, I couldn't think I was going to say this. With Steam IDs, you can put players' Steam IDs to players that you only want to join the server as well. Right, but once we've done that, we're going to click File Save. We're going to close out of that. There is a welcome text. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But first of all, let's continue with this README, because there's still some more bits. Now, if only allowed players equals 1. So this is something I didn't go into. Let's go back into game settings. And that is their only allowed players. So by default equals 0. I would suggest to keep it on that. If you do change this to 1, so if only allowed players equals 1, the server will only allow players indicated in the m_mvp access.txt. It'll only allow players that's in that file. So with their unique Steam ID files, I cannot speak. So if you put this to 1, you're going to need to make this f_mvp access.txt file. And to do that, and again, that's only if you make this setting there equals 1. If you keep it at 0, you don't need to make this file. So inside this location in the TSSG game folder, right click, new text document, and make a file and call it, what did I say you call it? f_mvp access.txt, like it shows in the README. And then inside that file is you'd put a list of the player's Steam ID files that you want to connect to your server. I'm not going to do it because I don't want that, but that's what you would do. And again, same here, we've got a banned file. So banned players.txt. If you are banning players, or there's certain players that you don't want to join your server, again, inside this TSG game or TSS game folder, right click, new text file, and call it f_banned_players.txt. And then inside that file is you'd put people's Steam ID files that you don't want to be on your server. Right, I'm hoping that makes sense. Right, so that is that. We covered the banned one there as well. Right, f_connected players. So this f_connected players.txt file will contain a list of players that's connected. I believe when we connect to the server, it will automatically connect this file. I've got one on my main server, and I've not actually manually added this. It will automatically do that. And then players connected log.txt. This will keep a log of players connecting and disconnecting with their Steam name and unique IDs. And again, these two files there, these two txt files where my mouse is, this will automatically make them text files. Right, so scroll down. Server settings, so we kind of covered that. So we've gone through all that. We've done that. Okay, scroll down. Now we're getting to the admin mode kind of thing. So I'll just quickly want to show you this because this is going to be quite important for you setting up your server. You're going to want to make sure you have you've got admin access. Now, if you're someone, or if you've got people on your server that all their job is to do is be an admin, you constantly want them to be admin. They can't log out of admin. They're constantly in admin. You're going to want to create a file, a txt file, and you're going to want to call it, if I can find it, have I gone past it? Is it further up here? There. So on line 18, you want to create a file called adminlist.txt. So again, inside this folder that we're in, right click, new file, and we'll call this admin, what was it? Adminlist.txt, like that. And inside this file is you put a list of Steam ID files, you know, the Steam 64 IDs. You put a list of all their IDs of who you want to be admin. And then what it'll do, anyone with that ID, when they connect to the server, they're constantly going to be admin. They can't log in or log out. Now, I don't like this. For me personally, I'm an admin on my server. I don't need to do that. I want to be able to log in and out of admin because I actually want to play on my server, and I actually want to play as a legit player, not with any kind of admin privileges where I can just spawn stuff. I actually want to play normally. So to do that, I'm going to show you, how to do that. And that basically is, using the admin password that we set in the game server settings.ini that you can kind of see there that I've got. We're going to be using this password to log in and out of admin. And again, anyone that's got this password can log in as admin. So, you don't really want to give this out to random people. And again, that's why I said by the time this video is live, you're not going to be able to log in as admin on this test server because it's not going to exist. Right. Where is the, sorry, I closed it down. Read me. Okay, I think that's it. So, right, console commands. So you've got a list of commands. So the main ones you're going to need is admin access. So this is what we're going to need to log in as admin. Admin tag is quite good. So if you're playing and you need to write and chat to people and you don't want no one to know you're the actual admin, you can use this command, admin tag. So when you write, it won't actually show up that you're admin. And then we've got a list of other stuff that we can do. And again, we've gone through the save game command, which I suggest doing. And then, you got some other things. You want to show the FPS and all this kind of stuff. How to spawn items. You can spawn a car and that. Right, and again, here's all the names of the cars, the names of AI, names of backpacks, and then again, all the names of the items in the game that you can choose to spawn. So, let's basically go ahead now and start the server. I think I've gone through everything. Yep, okay. Let me make sure this is saved. I'm going to close this. Then we need to start a server. To start a server, go back to wherever your server is, and the shortcut that we made for the TS game server settings, we're just going to double click on that, and it's going to bring up the server window, and it's going to load the server up. Now, I would suggest before you try to find your server in the game and you log in, give us about 3 to 5 minutes. Give it some time to fully boot up, and so it's ready. So we're just going to minimize that. That's going to be up. Right, I'm just going to close out of my out of the dedicated, well, it is mine, out of my dedicated server, and we're actually going to go back to my desktop, and we're going to boot up HumanitZ, and we're going to find the server. So just give me a sec. Right, okay, it's been a couple of minutes. I've booted up HumanitZ, so you want to click play, you want to click multiplayer, select your profession. I'm just going to keep it unemployed, doesn't really matter for a test server, and then we're going to go to find server. Now, in the server's name box, we're going to just basically type in what it's called. If we just type maybe one shots, it'll find it. There we go. One shots test server. You can favorite it by just clicking on the heart symbol there, so it's red. Then you click on it and click play when you want to join. If your server doesn't show up, make sure a couple of things. Make sure you maybe change the query port because the 27015 doesn't seem to work. So change that, and make sure you're not using a query port that if you've got multiple other servers of other games or whatever, make sure you're using a different query port. Second thing is make sure you port forwarded. Make sure you've opened up your ports that you need to, that you've chose, the 777 and the 270, whatever, the last two numbers you use are, or one number, 27014, 27013, whatever it may be. Make sure you've opened them ports correctly. And then you've obviously given your server time to sharp. And like I said, it's been about 2 minutes, and this is already up for me. Yours could take a bit longer. Right, select that. I'm going to click play. Right, I'm going to let this load and boot up, and then I'll show you. I'm just going to show you how to log in as admin, how to use the admin tag, and how to quickly just spawn an item. And that'll be it. And then the rest you can just kind of look at the README, and you can see what you need to do. So just give me a sec. Okay, and we're in. So we just picked the starter spawn area. So for example, now I haven't moved very far. If I was to log out, it's going to put me back over there. So say now I wanted to log out. Say I thought, sugar, I forgot to do one setting. I need to make a setting. I haven't done the welcome message. I will make a separate quick tutorial on the welcome message for you. So stay tuned for that one. Right. So say I want to log off and do the welcome message. It's not been 5 minutes. I'm going to want to make sure I've logged in as admin, and I'm going to want to save that. So to log in as admin, press enter. I'm going to put /, and then it's going to be admin, access, space, then your password. So it was admin test, I believe. Enter. Now it tells us in orange writing, we've logged in as admin, so we've got admin access. Use admin tag to toggle it, so we can do that if we want to. So if we say it now says admin one shot. But if we do, I don't actually think we need to use capitals either. Is it admin tag? Like so, and we write hi. It just says one shot. Doesn't have admin by it. Okay, so that's how you can do that. If you want to save, / save game, and game saved. So now I could log out, make changes, close the server off, reboot it back up, and I would still be in this location. So yeah, get in the habit of saving it. To spawn an item, it's / spawn space item _. For example, because I know a couple of items, let's spawn a baseball bat. Think it's 2 words. No, it's, I can't remember what it's off the top of my head. Did I try baseball? There we go. It's 1 word, and we've got a baseball bat. And again, all the item names are in that README file. Actually, close out the chat menu, and we can pick that up. Perfect. There we go. And now we're ready to start killing people. But yeah, that's it. That's a few of the things. If you're stuck, you can always come and join Discord, and I can try and help you. Any issues with port forwarding, don't come to me. I know some very basic stuff. I know what you've got to do, but actually doing it, I'm not great at, and it all depends on your router and what route you're using, because they're all different. I would suggest, YouTube port forwarding, and see what videos are on YouTube. You'll find something a bit more useful than I can provide you there. Anything else with just getting your server set up, feel free to join Discord and come and speak with me. I will make a separate video showing you how you can set up a welcome message. So when you log in, there'll be a message, and you can add rules, and you can just say welcome to the server, whatever. And yeah, so yeah, until next time guys, have fun and peace out.